In some of my recent videos, you may have noticed that I had this orange Corvette as a desktop image on my computer. And that's actually an E-Ray that I built up on Chevy.com, kind of as motivation of something that I wanted in the future. And had we gotten an allocation, I would have actually ordered. And it would have been great. It would have been like a tribute to the 2007 Corvette I had, which was the Atomic Orange. So I was gonna get this one in the orange. I was gonna go with the high polished wheel, get the chrome emblems, kind of make it look like that 07 was. And then the cool thing was, because since the E-Ray has the electric motor in the front, it actually is like a tribute to the Bolt, which I drive every day, which is carbon flash, which is the carbon flash accents, which actually this photo doesn't show, but I would have ordered it that way. So that was the game plan. That's what I was gonna do. That's what I wanted to do to make content for YouTube. And then one day, unbeknownst to me, I'm sitting at work and a truck pulls up to the front from the Corvette factory with a bunch of Corvettes on it, you know, dropping one particular car off. At that moment, I didn't know what the equipment was in the car. I didn't know if it was a sold vehicle. All I knew is we were getting a vet in, so I always go out to the truck to take a look to see what it was. And I found out that it was available for sale. It was an in-stock unit, and it was like the perfect build for me. And here, ladies and gents, it is my personal brand new 2024 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe 2LT in torch red. I absolutely love it. I find myself when it's in the garage and I'm home, like I go in the garage and I just stare at it. It's such a beautiful looking car. Now, why did this work for me? Why was it the perfect build? One, I like a bright color. If I'm gonna get a Corvette, I want a bright color. Torch red, you cannot go wrong with. The second thing is it's a 2LT, which for me would be a must-have. I like the creature comforts. I want the heated ventilated seats. I want the head-up display. I want the performance data recorder. That sort of stuff is important to me. That's the stuff that's in a 2LT. So for me personally, that's the trim level I want. I'm not too concerned about 3LT. In fact, I think the interior of this car and the materials used are fine just the way it is. Also, this has the GT1 bucket seats, not the GT2, not the competition. So it's the standard seat. It does the job. It feels comfortable. It's got good adjustability. It's got good bolstering. It's perfect for me, and it's saving me a little bit of money. It also has the good black wheels, the factory black wheels. These I'm a big fan of. I think they look great. Had this car had the standard black, or not the standard, but the standard style wheel black with the silver rim, I may not have bought the car. Like those wheels I just really dislike. These I love. A little dirty yet here. I have to get a little cleaned up. Also, you can see we got the bright red calipers, which obviously with the torch red car look phenomenal. And we also, when this car was built, we added the carbon flash mirrors and the little lower lip spoiler in the back, which again, I really love. I love the way it kind of offshoots the back of the car there. In my opinion, on the back of these cars, you need something. So whether it's a Z51 spoiler, the high wing, or this, I don't think you can go wrong either way. Personally, I just like the way this is set up. And like I said, it was just a perfect build that when I saw it and I realized it was available and I started thinking, when will we get an allocation for an E-Ray? And the E-Ray's $40,000 more. Will I really get that extra income from YouTube with an E-Ray versus making some content with a standard C8? Now, I know it's a standard C8. They've been on YouTube for 4 years. So did I buy this to make content and profit off it? Absolutely not. I bought this for me, and I bought this to just enjoy life. That being said, I will make content with the car, and I think the experience in the content you'll see is gonna be more like the average ownership of a Corvette, right? I'm not gonna do the YouTube thing. I'm not taking this, putting twin turbos on it, turning it into 1500 horsepower or whatever. That's not me. Like, my ownership is what the average buyer buys this car for. The average buyer doesn't take the car on a track. The average buyer cruises up and down the boulevard. They go to their, to their cruise events on Sunday mornings, things like that. You know, they're not tracking the car. Sure, they have some spirited driving out of toll booths or maybe down certain country roads or highways in a safe manner, things like that. That's what I'm gonna be doing with the car. I'm gonna be doing what the average buyer, my average buyer, does to enjoy it. Now, the ironic thing is I purchased this vehicle about 3 or 4 days before I was going to Corvette Academy in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So I flew into Nashville. I drove up to Bowling Green. We went to the factory museum and did a nice tour of the museum. And then the next day we went to the Corvette Motorsport Park, where we got to train in the Corvette. And we got to drive an E-Ray. I'm gonna put that footage right here.
Whenever you're ready, hammer down. Ooh, off the brake.
Baby.
I'll tell you when to get off the brakes so you can go faster through here.
Got it.
You haven't seen the course yet, but you look like somebody that might want to go fast. Of course, all you guys have in New Jersey is exits to take.
The jug handles.
Yeah, is that what they're called?
Yeah, it can't make lefts. Everything's a right-hand jug handle usually.
Oh, really? Stay to the right here. You ought to be good at that. And sport mode. So let's let them get ahead a little bit. I have a feeling you're going to be faster. Let's see how much. Yeah, see how slow they're going. Oh, come to a stop. I don't know what happened there. All right, start rolling, and I'll tell you when to floor it. Floor it. Off the brake. So you couldn't do that.
Oh, wow, yeah. You wouldn't know that without you saying something.
Right. But you couldn't floor it like that with a rear wheel drive car with the
Right.
Have you done track stuff?
No, just these events, which I've been working with Chevy for 19 years.
Oh, okay, so you've done a few.
Making it hard, right?
Yeah. Now we're in track mode.
By the way, the gentleman in that car, Norman, shout out to you if you're watching. Great experience with you guys that day at that event. I really appreciate what I felt was a compliment. I took it as a compliment when you asked me, hey Dave, have you ever done track events before? Like, that was cool to me. It felt like I actually kind of maybe thought I knew somewhat of what I was doing, even though I spent very little time on the track just at GM events. Norman also did a launch for us, so we got to kind of stand on the side, and he showed us what that E-Ray can do. It was such an awesome experience, and what it did was it made me question, should I have waited? Should I have waited for the E-Ray allocation, order the car here, spend the extra money and get it, or did I do the right thing by buying just a C8 2LT, you know, standard Stingray like I did? And by the end of that training, I realized I did in fact do the right thing. Even the fact that this car is not a Z51 car is fine with me. Again, I'm not taking it on the track. I'm not too concerned about resale value down the road. I bought this car to keep and enjoy and, you know, at the same time make some content with. So I kind of came full circle in that experience. But that E-Ray was awesome. We also got to do a hot lap in a Z06 with a pro driver. I'll put that footage right here.
Morgan, nice to meet you. Where you from?
Jersey.
Nice, I'm Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Good to be out here with you. The only reason I work here is yeah, they help everything.
Now that footage was from the PDR, the performance data recorder in the car. Funny enough, I borrowed my buddy Christian's Ray-Ban sunglasses with the camera in it, and I hit the button I thought to record. I didn't, because when I got to the end of that lap, I then hit the button to stop the recording, and it actually started. So unfortunately, I didn't catch it with the glasses, but I did catch other driving that I did in the cars with those glasses. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up one of the laps. Now, how these things generally work is we have a pro driver leading the pack. In this case, it was me second, and it was another gentleman behind me as number 3. The goal is to keep within 2-3 car lengths, try to keep the pack of cars pretty tight. And if you can do that, you can go faster and faster. And that's exactly how this track experience went. It went very well. We drove a couple laps in touring, then in sport, then in track, and then you go back to touring. So you can kind of feel the difference of the different modes. Now those cars had the magnetic ride control. So not only was the different modes changing brake feel, steering feel, it was also changing the suspension feel. And it's night and day difference between touring and track. This was a great way to experience all the different modes in a safe setting, you know, at relatively high speeds, you know, on a track. It was a lot of fun. So here's that lap.
Doing good, guys. Let's take a deep breath, make sure we're relaxed and focused. Start to roll back on the gas pedal here. Here we go. Alright, still doing the same thing. Maybe it's a little faster now. Over to the right. Then we'll start to turn in on the gas up the hill. Grabbing that brake. Turning in. Back on the gas down the hill. Bring that car out to the left. In between the 3 and the 2. Grab that brake again. Prior that, making it through the corner. Get that car turned. Then when you know you're good, open the wheel up on the gas. In between the 2 and the 1 on the brake. Starting out a little wide and bringing it towards the inside. Maybe just being patient with the throttle. Slowly open that wheel up on the gas down the hill. Maybe a touch of brake at the top to help the nose turn in. Then pull that gas steady. Make sure you bring that car back to the left. Slowly open that wheel up. Then we're going to the right on the gas, a little more down the hill. And to the right. Keep those eyes looking ahead. Alright, go ahead and brake in a straight line. Good job, guys. Let's switch back to tour mode now. Back to tour mode.
It was so much fun going to that track event. And, you know, I understand that you really can't get a good feel for what it's like. You know, you watch that lap of that Z06 on a screen, and it's cool. You can see how fast you were going. It's nothing as if you were in the car. When you're in the car, you're feeling those G-forces and you're feeling yourself get thrown in that seatbelt when they're braking before those turns. It truly is phenomenal. And, you know, after going to Corvette Academy, learning about the car all over again, learning more stuff than I even knew. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. You open your front trunk here. If anybody has a Corvette C8 that's a 2024, it has a soft close in the front. The guy showed us, why touch your paint? Just pull here, slam it down. Once it catches, it'll bring it right down nice and easy. So you don't actually have to touch the hood of the car. You don't have to press. You just pull from that loop and drop it down. So you always learn new things when you do these events, which is a fantastic thing as well, because now I can relay that stuff to my customers. But what are your thoughts? How do you like my new Corvette? And do you think I made the right decision, this compared to the E-Ray? I can't believe I almost forgot. Great feature that this car does have, the performance exhaust. That's a great thing as well for me, because most likely I won't be changing out the exhaust or doing anything to mod this out. I don't feel like taking the whole back half of the car off to change the exhaust. However, if I did change the exhaust, Billy Boat would probably be the company I would go with. Now, many of you are probably wondering, because if you're following the channel for a long time, you know in January of 2022, I locked in a launch edition Silverado EV. I ordered it in white. It's still in the factory, but it should be here soon, maybe as soon as August. And I am not going to be buying that truck. One of the reasons why I'm not buying that truck, because I would love to have it. I would have drove it as a daily, and I would have replaced my Chevrolet Bolt with it, is that in New Jersey, they had a $4,000 incentive when you buy an electric car. Right now, currently, it's $2,000. But when I bought my Bolt, you had a $4,000 incentive. You have to keep the car registered to you for 3 years. Otherwise, you could get charged back the money. So the last thing I wanted to do, because I'm only in that vehicle for 2 years, is trade the vehicle in and then get billed $4,000 from the state of New Jersey because I did not keep it to 3 years. So it didn't make sense for me to get rid of that car and go into the Silverado EV. And then it didn't, in my mind, make sense for me to get a Silverado EV and also have the Bolt. Now, I could have done that. I could have done the Silverado EV now, and then in a year or so got rid of the Bolt and then maybe went with a Vet. I chose to do the Vet up front. I think I made the right decision. Again, what do you think?